Hello, round 3, game 2 of the Fistful Dice Store Championships in Portsmouth, taking place in February 2016. Cards League got up to Calagoda, so the first data pack of the Mumbad cycle. On the left, David Kilman, on the right, Simon Johnston. They was playing HBND in the future. Simon on Ian Sterling. No, sorry, on Leela actually. I'm really used to Simon playing Ian around this time actually. I went through a period of playing a ton of Ian Sterling decks. I thought he was still playing it here, and I was incorrect. The glare on the camera really not helping there. I'm going to blame that on my mistake. So the players just cutting the decks there. So we just saw David take a really quick 6-minute loss to Simon there. Simon's trappy industrial genomics deck, pre-biolock. And yes, David's first turn is Ice HQ, install 2 cards. So that's it's Breaker Bay and even an Eva Adonis. He says presumptuously. Simon starts with Click 1 Desperado, which is a fantastic way to start with a criminal play. Just going to start getting money straight away. Dirty Laundry into R&D. Okay, reses the Breaker Bay and the Adonis, just in case Simon was able to bounce anything. Sees another Adonis on top, so that goes back. Simon on 6 credits can go and trash the Adonis if he wishes. I'm not sure how much that benefits himself, to be honest. Certainly stopped David from getting them out, but he's seen another Adonis coming, so it's only it's a temporary measure at best. Yeah, he's going to go for it. Yeah. Oh, he can actually afford to trash both, so that is better actually. Because it means even when the second Adonis comes of harm, David's going to have to pay to res that one rather than getting the free res from Breaker Bay. And Click 4 for Simon is to just draw a card. So yeah, if he hadn't been able to afford the Breaker Bay, maybe it wouldn't have been such a great choice, but okay. So David, Ice, and a new card get installed. Simon runs R&D. Project Vitruvius, so Simon's going to get to bounce something. HQ Ice or the, yeah. Does the remote Ice, goes to check what that remote is. That's the other Adonis. Simon just lets him keep that one. It's got to be worth checking R&D again in this situation, right? Yeah. There's the archive memories. He doesn't care about that one. Short gamble from Simon just to get his money. So yeah, David reses that Adonis. Simon can go in and deal with the Adonis pretty easily, but David might be able to ice that up. David's running a lot of ice in this deck, obviously, so... Oh, he does want to get this R&D protected, really. So yeah, the protection on the Adonis. Upgrading the Adonis server as well, and just take a credit. So just leaving that R&D open again. Quite brave, especially against a Leela. Oh, when this can happen. So sees the NAP, he pays to take it back, bounces that ice back. Now Simon can go in and run R&D. Oh man, Project Vitruvius. It's going to bounce the upgrade. Simon runs in, trashes out. This is horrible for David. 6 points down. Everything that he's trying to build or do is just getting bounced back or trashed by Leela. This is that Leela snowball effect we can see. When she gets a good start, she can just really dominate the tempo of the game. Resetting David's board state. So David's board is actually in the same state it was turn 1, other than he has 2 more credits. Which really isn't a lot to show for 3 or 4 turns of gameplay. David looks a little resigned there to... Yeah. So Eli on top of R&D. David needs to get R&D locked down. Just carve himself a way back into this game at this point. So there's a symmetrical visage from Simon. Draws and gets the baby credit. So Simon's 6 points up now. He can actually... He can afford to just sit back a little bit and build his own board state now. Obviously he's going to want to keep the pressure on David. But with that massive 6 points lead, he can even let an agenda go if need be, just while he sets up his own sort of breaker suite. I can see a passport in hand. I don't know if he's playing all the central breakers or not. I think he might be running passport and peacock to deal with remote code gates. There's a breach as well, so he is running the central breakers. Another draw. There's Desperado in hand there, which is quite happy to pitch. So I'm just thinking over what his next move is here. So Simon, okay, runs, sees the Eli. Can't deal with that right now, but you can always click through it next turn. So Simon must have been thinking he might have been on for one of the quickest store championship rounds of the day. The way the first game's gone, the first few turns of this game. So David's got the Eve out now. Installs another card in that remote. Takes a credit. Simon might even fancy any inside job into that server if he had one, just to really keep David struggling for money and on the back foot of this game. Clicking through Eli is obviously could be a really good option at this point as well, because any agenda now just ends the game for Simon. Even an NAPD he can afford to do. I think just keeping that pressure on R&D is a really good option right now. Simon considering his options. He's got an Atman in hand. Atman on Eli. Could be an option. He's a bit short on credits to do it right now, but so Simon just really mulling over what he's going to do. As I was saying last time, he's in no rush really. He's under no pressure at all at this point. He knows any single access can win in the game. Yeah, installs the passport. It looks like David's got at least 2, if not 3 agendas in hand there actually. So that's, with the 3 that Simon's really scored, that is 6 of his agendas. So there might not actually be a lot left in that R&D. Yeah, a lot of these food coat decks you're running sort of 9 agendas. So there's security testing there from Simon, so he can just keep his money ticking over as the turns go on. Takes 2 credits, passes the turn. So now if David wants to stop Simon getting the 3 credits from security testing, he's going to have to ice archives as well. David's not really in a position financially to be protecting all these servers as well though, really. So he's pitching some cards there. Jackson might help him. I don't know if those are agendas that are there is 2 agendas in hand. I think there is a 3rd. He might have pitched some there though. Yeah, Simon's security testing archives. David reached for Jackson, which means there's probably something he doesn't want Simon to see, which means yes, Simon's going to run back second click. It's always a bit awkward security testing because quite often the runner will run archives and the corporation player will just sort of out of habit more than anything go to pop the Jackson. Then when he realises there's no access to come, take it back. It's kind of too late at that point. You signal to the player that there's something in there, so they're just going to run back on their next click, which is what Simon does. Quite possibly would have been doing it anyway, to be fair. Especially once you're at Desperado, you're getting a credit for the check anyway, so going back to check the second time is the same as clicking for a credit for Simon, like really. Simon just being really methodical with his turns now. After that sort of lightning pace of the first game and the first few turns of this one, just slowing down and thinking through what he's doing now. There comes the Fen, putting on the HQ ice, which opens up perfectly for a count siphon. David just thinking this through. Yeah, no res. Simon straight in, gains 10. David drops 2. Simon ends 10 with 2 tags, but David has money, but he's not really. He might decide to trash one of the 2 resources, but they're not terribly tempting targets. Yeah, the security test is going to go. I don't think he minds about the baby. Has Simon got enough security testing in hand there anyway, I think? Yeah, so David's overwritten the HQ ice, which means the Fen doesn't have a target now. Simon might be happy to just float the tags at this point. He's only got the baby out at the moment. I don't know how resource heavy this deck is. I think he runs a tri-math, possibly a few bank jobs. So there's the R&D interface. So sure gamble there. R&D interface I can see in hand, which will be really good right now. Does need to find a fractor though, really, to deal with that barrier. So fractor and the R&D interface would just be fantastic for Simon right now. He's got his code gate breaker, he's got his sentry breaker. Fem can be expensive to use, but it's there, and Simon not struggling for money anyway. Yep, so David ices installs over that Adonis. That was okay. I thought it was an ABT, but it must be another upgrade actually. There is an ABT in hand. What would Simon do for a barrier breaker right now? He has got a breach in hand actually. Surely breach and breach and R&D interface right now has got to be the play, right? Yeah. And the pressure is back on for David now. Yeah, Simon runs that R&D. Rez is a Viper. Some breaks. Breach breaks the Eli. Sees 2 cards. There's a Viper and Eve, which he lets both sit there. And for his last click, he draws a card. Pass the turn to David. So David's, although he's not really scoring right now, he's eking his way back in. He's got the scoring route set with 2 ice and the 3 upgrades. So advance take a credit. So that's probably going to be Breaker Bay, Adonis, Breaker Bay, Ash and Caprice. We do know in the last round we saw David actually playing a 5 cards remote, with 4 of those being upgrades or regions. So David has advanced that agenda. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a 4-2. It could still be a 3-2, which he just wants to be able to respond to the Leela bounce when he scores it with his last click. Quite a common play against the Leela. So rather than installing and then advancing 3 times in your turn, you want to be able to react to wherever she bounces and reinstall the ice, which she normally is going to take away. So there's the itchy res. It's quite expensive for Fen to deal with, but Simon could just click through that one. I think Simon's going to... Yeah, so Simon clicks through the 2 trashes and he's going to fire the trace. David doesn't up it, so Simon just matches. There's a Turing res, which, yeah, Simon can't deal with that one. So yeah, 2 advances on the accelerated beta test. David is firing that. Gets 2 pieces of ice. Yeah, so there's Enigma and a Architect going out. Simon bounces the HQ ice, but David just reinstalls it immediately. I think he's forgot to take his credit for the install. Yeah, I think David forgot to take his credit for the install there, actually. So what's Simon's next play here? He's got the money to keep up the pressure on R&D. Account Siphon's not really a great option because David could just turn around and pour a load of money into those upgrades in the scoring remote. So it runs HQ, it's another itchy. Simon can probably just click through this, to be honest. He's under no pressure at the moment. Yeah, click through the trashes, let the trace fire. Pays a credit to match. Seasoned Architect. Leaves Simon with 1 click remaining this turn. He could emergency shut down something. One of the R&D cards, possibly. Maybe the Turing. He's not sure. He's just thinking this through. Yeah, emergency shut down on the Architect. So archive memories there from David for the Adonis. It's presumably going to go back into that scoring remote. And another install there. So there is the possibility David could actually be bluffing out an agenda there. One of those 2. Either the new remote or in the scoring server. Be interesting to see if Simon does sort of just test him on that. So Simon brings out the Atman at strength 4, which is going to deal with quite a lot of the cards that David's got out right now. So I'm just considering his next move again. Really methodical play from Simon, considering he took that really quick start. Instead of just sort of rushing through his turns, he's slowed down just to respond to what's going on in the game, see what's happening. Be quite easy to get carried away and just gone pressure and run at everything. Instead he's just been picking his targets, building up his own board. And David's still not looking very comfortable, but you know, considering the way the game started, he has pulled his way back in. He's managed to get the ABT out. He's got some ice resed. Yeah, so Simon's running R&D. Resin the Architect. Yeah, Simon breaks the Viper. Ant-Man through, no clicks left. He sees an Ash and yeah, Project Vitruvius. That early start just made it so hard for David to get back into the game. Leela really can do that. If her first few runs in a game hit, agendas. It just really sets the corporation player onto the back foot for the rest of the game. David just playing in response to Simon for a lot of that game, not able to really get himself comfortably back into it. And yeah, so that's 4 points for Simon, and he'll move on to round 4, which we'll have shortly.